to. Emergency or non-emergency.
For police emergency and
They said it goes all to the same number.
please press 1.
Vineland Police, operator 9966.
Yeah, I just got hung up on by dispatcher, and I got hung up on by an officer, and I'm being falsely accused, and I'm trying to make a complaint. I've been trying to make one for a few weeks. Harassment against Melnick and Miller, who harassed me in my residence, used by police to harass me. I'd like to make a complaint against Aaron Melnick and Chris Miller, and a complaint has not been made. They actually obstructed justice and abused power to make a false complaint against me, to basically, well, slander me.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to find you an officer, okay?
Mm-hmm. Something bit me in my toe. Freaking itches. Almost 10 minutes. Other people just prove my point. That's all they do. They're worthless. That's the point. They're wasting people's tax dollars. The little elitist cult. Self-centered, self-worshipping, terrorizing innocent victims. You have a right to law enforcement department. You're going to be a law enforcement officer, which they're not. Police officer. Not be able to communicate with the public, know the law, and respect people's rights. You can't listen to freaking, well, people speaking against evil. You know what the problem is? Because when you speak against crime and evil, you're describing them. This has been my experience for speaking against domestic violence. When you sit there and speak against domestic violence, you'll be describing that officer standing in front of you. That's a problem. And they'll sit there and abuse you for it. This is what's been happening for 30 years. Or more than that. It's like, I can see that. Probably not. So it'll be like a minute, 15 minutes left for. 15 seconds before it's 15 minutes. About to just have some tea. You always need two things of comfort: Spirit of God and tea. That's the Spirit of God plus tea. That's true. You need spiritual and natural. The natural comfort for me is tea. Tea. You're just gonna leave me on hold. I hung up.
You have reached the City of Vineland Police Department. If this is an emergency, please press 1.
It doesn't light up
You
with
know your
the.
party's four-digit extension. For police emergency and non-emergency dispatch, please press 1.
Vineland Police, operator 9966.
Yeah, I just got left on hold for like 15 minutes. This is Teresa Lockwood.
Hold on.
They're gonna do this again. I'm not doing this for 15 minutes. I sit there and play these games. And I'm like speaking against their crime and harassment and their bullying and their mental abuse and slander. And they're going to be like, oh, well, just because you don't like them. You don't want to speak to them just because you don't like them. That's your degeneracy. That's where the problem is. They don't speak against. First of all, they're harassing me because they don't like me. They hate me without a cause. They don't like me because I'm moral, I'm a good person, and I'm righteous. Because the light exposes what's hidden in darkness. That's why they don't like me. The darkness hates the light. Okay? So, if I sit there and speak against evil, I'm describing them. That's the problem. So they hang up on me. They harass me. Okay? And they just expose us being vile, foul beings. They're just putting me on hold. So that's all they're doing. I've dealt with this harassment before. gotta do is target the victim. Blame the victim. That's all they do. They're uncle fuckers. Child molester submitters. Worshipping the child molester pimps behind the pulpit. Catholics, Pentecostals, Baptists, Nazarenes. Yeah.
So we have a few options. Are you calling to report something, or do you want to speak to somebody in reference to what has happened already?
Well, I have both. I want to make an official complaint, which I've been trying to make. I'm being refused to make a complaint. I have a right to make a complaint. Nobody has a right to refuse it. And then I have the complaint against the officers harassing me, refusing me to make a complaint.
Okay. So in reference to the officers, there's two options to make a complaint. You can either come to the station to fill out the paperwork that goes directly to our internal affairs office, or I can transfer you to the internal affairs office and you can speak to them over the phone.
Well, I need to make my complaint about the other ones first. About the I mean, well, okay. I mean, yeah, I speak to somebody on the phone, but I need to also make my complaint.
Which complaint? Like against?
Yeah, I want to make both.
Vineland?
Yeah, both.
Okay. So the complaint against a citizen in Vineland was the harassment.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're separate. Yeah.
You have the two options. We can send the officer to your residence to do it, or you can come to the police department to do this.
No, I can talk to the I can make the complaint on the phone.
It's a harassment, correct?
Yes.
Who is harassing you?
Aaron Melnick and Chris Miller harassed me, and I've been trying to make a complaint for a few weeks.
He's the city employee?
Yes.
This is in reference to, I remember you speaking to Officer Williams about this.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part you said.
This is what you attempted to do with Officer Williams, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so,
and then I was harassed by Officer Williams, and he's harassing me by making false complaints and refusing to take my complaint.
Okay, so that has to go to our internal affairs office. Those two options are over the phone, or you come to the front desk to fill out.
I'm making a complaint over the phone.
The thing with the city employees, I remember Officer Williams told you to contact City Hall in reference to that complaint because there's.
Yeah, I already did talk to Maria, and it seems like they're manipulating her also. I mean, they're males. They're manipulative little jerks. So, that's 99% of males. So, they think that they can deceive women because they think we're stupid and stuff or whatever. But, the thing is just that, I mean, I have right to, I mean, like manipulated by males, and then the females are being manipulated by the male police. And I mean, that's just the carnal nature of the degenerate male. So, that's what they do. They don't know anything else. So, it's pointless talking to them, but that's all they do. It's just manipulate and lie. And the thing is, it's just that I try to talk to a woman, and she wants to sit there and play the games also. McCormick, and she colluded in co-conspiring with Williams to sit there and slander me and report and refuse my complaint. And they're refusing to take my complaint, which is unlawful. They don't have a right to refuse to take my complaint. I have a legitimate complaint. I've always had legitimate complaints, and they're making empty complaints and making it look like I didn't make a complaint that was legitimate, which they're just leaving out what I said, and then they're falsely accusing me what I said, and then falsely claim that I said that. They're trying to use Aaron as a false witness sitting there because I said they were delusional, and I described descriptively in detail their delusions that they were doing. They refused to write it in a complaint and the harassment they did. And they just put in there that Aaron said, because he's a city official, that he said that I was delusional, that I said that he said I was delusional. I actually never said that, and I never said that. So they're manipulating reports, and they're trying to brand me as being delusional for speaking against delusions. I'm actually a highly intelligent woman. They're calling me retarded, incompetent. I'm not incompetent. I'm a woman of sound of mind. I'm a genius, actually. And that is on record. And the thing is that They're continuously calling me mentally ill just for speaking against abuse and people committing crimes against me, while they're actually part of using people and city officials to actually commit crimes against me. This is police and the Vineland Police Department retaliating against me for being a victim of domestic violence and a prime credible witness against rape and cult abuse. So, I mean, this is going on for 30 years, but the thing is, I'm still going to stand my ground, and I'm still going to enforce my rights. I'm going to enforce the law against unlawful people. So, if police are committing crimes against me, they're not enforcing the law. I'm enforcing the law, and they're basically enforcing crime. That's what they're doing, and they speak against themselves. So, I mean, that's an attack on law enforcement, and they're manipulating people like, oh, just because she doesn't like us, why nobody's sitting there saying, oh, just because they're harassing me, it's just like, it's not. I don't like or not like you. I don't have no favor to anybody. I'm speaking against, you're wrong against me. That's what I'm doing. And they're playing these games, and I'm not playing the games. I don't think like that. I don't do that. And I'm not going to do that to people either. I mean, I'll say some harsh words against you, but I'm only going to be speaking against, like, the evil that you're doing. I'm not going to sit there and randomly just, like, call people names. They're like, oh, well, you're name calling. Yeah, I'm going to call you evil if you're evil. If you're committing crimes against me and you're a criminal, I'm going to call you a criminal. If you're a rapist, I'm going to call you a rapist. If you're a liar, I'm going to call you a liar. I am. I'm going to do that. Yes, I am. That's not a rule that police are to go by, to sit there and like, well, you're not allowed to name call. Yes, I am. If I'm going to sit there and call somebody attacking me a pig, I'm going to call them a pig. I'm allowed to do that. Nobody has a right to actually refuse my complaint because I'm calling, like, somebody who's bullying me and mentally abusing me and harassing me a pig, and like, oh, you're name calling. No, this is a crime. No, why don't you speak against someone who's committing the crime? This is.
Can you just give me 1 second? I have to answer 911.
Okay, go ahead.
I apologize.
Okay.
These are the officers I have in the station right now. 1 second, that's my camera to load. I have Officer Acosta, I have Officer Santiago. I think that's Officer Lewis and Officer Rosario. They're the only officers in the station. They are, however, working on other reports.
Okay.
So I can't make any promises that they're going to be able to give you the time that you need.
All right, I understand. Is it the older Rosario or the younger Rosario?
Older Rosario.
All right. He can call me back when he has time. I have to take a break. I have to drink some tea, because that is my comfort drink. Thank you for your I don't know what word I'm looking for, but your patience and your calmness is appreciative. Yeah, well, the other officers also participated in targeting me and systematic targeting. So I'm gonna go with Rosario, even though he's refused to take my complaints or whatever. But he's being manipulated, so I want that and made a note of. But I actually really believe he does try to have good intentions. I like him more than the other ones. Or in basically how they respond. I don't have a preference of what I like more or whatever, but. I think he has more, I mean, if he's allowed to do good, he will. So, if he's allowed to. So, that's...
Give him the message and ask him to call you as soon as he's done doing his other report, okay?
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, bye.